Hi everyone. So I will change the focus on the camera in just a minute, but I have this really lovely background and I wanted you to see that where I am. Um, so it whites it out mainly because of the way the sun is in the camera. But anyway, hi and much love to all of you. And it's a little chilly out here in Sedona, and I just wanted to tell a story that really touches my heart. It makes me really proud of where I came from. So I was talking to a friend the other day about integrity and what integrity is to me personally, and how I feel that our society and people really have walked away from being filled with integrity. And I don't think that's true for the majority. It's just what we see. That's what's fed to us in the media, right? We don't see a lot of integrity on TV these days, I don't think. And when we do, we're really surprised by it. Like, we really resonate with those characters who have lots of integrity. So on with the story, because I don't want this video to run long. My dad worked at Jim Beam Distillery for almost 40 years, and he started in 1958, which was really the height of the civil rights movement. And my dad became a foreman, and he was a company man. And what that meant was that he actually worked for the company while the people who worked for him worked for the union. And so this was, the early 60s. This was the height of civil rights movement in Kentucky, small town Kentucky even, where, African American people didn't even really exist. There were very few. So what he noticed is he had these two black women who worked for him, and that they were doing the same job that other people were doing, only they were making a lot less money. And he couldn't understand it because they were actually doing the job a lot better. So instead of making it a big to-do, he just knew that it wasn't the right thing. And so he goes and makes that particular position a contract position for the company. That way, whoever did that job got paid the same amount of money. And then he made sure that these two women held that position. So, and these women loved my dad. Like, they sent him birthday and Christmas cards and gifts and spoke really highly of my dad. And I just never understood, right? Because he told this story very almost flippantly, like it was just the right thing to do. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? I had the power. It just made sense, and it just happened. So fast forward to 2001, my dad passed away, and there were lots and lots and lots of people that showed up at the funeral home. And I don't know if you are from a small town, but when people pass, like in a tiny town, lots of people show up to bring food and give their respects. And if you've ever seen the movie Big Fish, that was kind of my dad's funeral in a nutshell. There were just all kinds of diverse people there. And I didn't expect that because I'm from a small, primarily white existence growing up. But there were all walks of life, from black, white, Asian, small people, big people. I mean, they just kind of crawled out of the woodwork. It was really this beautiful moment for me. And these two African-American women came up and asked if that was my father. And I said yes. And they had brought their entire families all the way down to their great-grandchildren at this time. And they said, your dad was such an amazing trailblazer. And I said, oh, well, thanks. I don't know where they're going at this point. And they said, well, our mothers worked for your dad at Jim Beam, and he made sure that they got paid what they were worth, what the job was worth. And that allowed us to go to college. And because we were allowed to go to college, we were financially able to send our kids to college. And now our grandkids, and we have doctors and business people and very educated people in our family now. Well, as you can imagine, I completely was thrown aback because to my dad, it was just the right thing to do. He did it with integrity. He wasn't looking down the road to see what the effects would be. He wasn't doing it because of the civil rights movement. He was doing it because these were people, and they were humans, and they deserved to be treated equally. black women in the 60s. So this makes me tear up, right? Because to these women that were telling me this story, it changed their lives. It changed the trajectory of who they were to become and who their families were. And they were thankful, so thankful, that they brought their entire families to my dad's funeral. Now, it's 2016, and we're still dealing with these same types of issues. What if one person just did the right thing? How many lives do you think will be affected in the future? I've had a taste of that in my family, one-on-one. But what if several of us stood outside ourselves and saw people as people deserving of respect and integrity, deserving to be treated as human beings with human kindness? What if we walked in our own integrity and did that every single day? Who would it affect? And how would they stand in their power for the next generation? So, stand in your integrity, folks. If you see something that isn't right for human sake, this is not political. This is not religious. This is not even morality. If you were to just stand in integrity and see human beings as all bleeding the same color, and reached out a hand in kindness because it was the right thing to do, how many generations would it change from this point forward? So, I am proud to have had a father who stood in his integrity. And I am his daughter, and I will stand in my integrity because I know that it feels good to do the right thing, even if everyone else is against you. Anyway, there's my story of the day. I hope you pass this on. I hope that you spread these messages so people can see that there are really beautiful things going on in the world and that you can do really beautiful things. You can change the world one person at a time. I guarantee it. I'll see you in the next video.